In the bustling luxury steakhouse of Manhattan, Marina stood as a stark contrast to the glittering world around her. 7 months pregnant, or so she believed, cold, soaked from the rain, hungry for 3 days, and wearing torn clothes, she approached a sharply dressed businessman, Alexander Sanders. Her voice trembled as she asked if she could have the food he wasn't going to eat. The entire restaurant fell silent, their judgment louder than any noise. Wealthy diners sneered, whispering that she was disgusting, a scammer, or pretending to be pregnant to get attention. Marina trembled not just from the cold but from shame and humiliation. Alexander, who had spent his life surrounded by superficial people, felt something stir within him the moment he saw her desperation. Instead of ignoring her, he pulled out a chair and invited her to sit beside him, shocking everyone. He demanded the waiter bring her a new plate and a sweet orange juice. Marina hesitated, telling him she was too dirty, but he reassured her with warmth and dignity. As she ate slowly, savoring every bite, Alexander asked about her life. Learning that she lived under an overpass and had been abandoned by the baby's father filled him with anger and sorrow. This moment became the emotional turning point for Alexander. He realized she wasn't a scammer, she was a real person with real struggles. In her eyes, he saw pain, dreams, and a strength she didn't even realize she carried. In his heart, something awakened, an unfamiliar compassion, a deeply human connection he had never felt in his wealthy, lonely world. Her suffering pulled him in, not out of pity, but from a desire to genuinely help. And in that restaurant, a bond began that neither of them expected. After seeing the cruelty Marina had endured and the exhaustion in her voice, Alexander made her an unexpected offer, one that shocked even Marina herself. He invited her to stay in his home until the baby was born. No conditions, no hidden intentions, just safety. Marina couldn't understand why a millionaire would help a homeless pregnant woman he barely knew. But Alexander simply told her that everyone deserves a chance, and he could help her when no one else would. As they left the restaurant, Alexander draped his expensive jacket over her shaking shoulders. People stared as they walked in the rain, a wealthy businessman escorting a drenched, homeless woman. But Alexander didn't care. For the first time in years, he felt like he was doing something meaningful. When they reached his massive mansion on the Upper East Side, Marina was overwhelmed. She had never seen a house so large or luxurious. Yet Alexander, surrounded by all this wealth, realized how empty his life had been. He had money, success, and status, but no love, no family, no purpose. Marina, even with her hardships, made him feel human again. He showed her the rooms, told her she could choose any, and reassured her that she was safe. Marina cried in the shower as the warm water washed away months of dirt, fear, and loneliness. She felt hope for the first time in a long time. That night, both of them lay awake, Marina out of gratitude and disbelief, and Alexander out of a newfound sense of purpose. Helping Marina made him realize that happiness wasn't something money could buy, it was something found in genuine connections. Their lives had changed in a matter of hours, and neither of them realized how deeply this decision would tie their fates together. At 3 a.m., Marina's screams shattered the quiet mansion. A horrifying pain tore through her stomach, worse than anything she'd ever felt. Alexander rushed into her room, terrified, and when she gasped that something was wrong with the baby, he carried her in his arms straight to the car. On the way to the hospital, Marina sobbed in fear, begging Alexander to take care of her child if she died. He refused to let her think that way, promising he would not let anything happen to her. At the hospital, nurses immediately wheeled her into emergency care. Alexander paced the hallway, more frightened than he had ever been in his entire life. When the doctor finally returned, the news shocked Alexander. Marina wasn't 7 months pregnant. She was 9 months pregnant, and the baby could arrive at any moment. Worse, Marina's body was dangerously weak. Months of starvation, cold, and physical stress had nearly broken her. Her blood levels were critically low, and she was at high risk. But in the middle of this grim news, there was light. The baby girl was strong, moving steadily, her heartbeat powerful. When the doctor showed the ultrasound, something inside Alexander shifted. The tiny figure on the screen, someone not related to him by blood, pulled at his heart with an intensity he couldn't understand. He felt protective, responsible, and emotionally tied to the child in a way he had never felt for anyone before. When he went to Marina's room, she panicked, begging to know if the baby was okay. Alexander reassured her with gentle firmness, telling her the baby was perfect. As contractions worsened and nurses prepared to take her to delivery, Alexander was asked if he wanted to join her. Without hesitation, and without caring that people assumed he was her husband, he walked beside her. Marina wasn't alone anymore, and Alexander had found something to fight for. In the delivery room, Alexander stayed by Marina's side through every contraction, every scream, and every moment she felt she couldn't go on. He held her hand, reassured her, and witnessed the moment baby Hope entered the world, crying loudly, healthy, and full of life. When he held the newborn girl for the first time, his heart melted completely. She wasn't his by blood, but she immediately felt like his responsibility, his family. After days in the hospital, Marina and Hope returned to Alexander's home, where he had prepared a nursery more beautiful than anything Marina had imagined. Custom furniture, soft colors, warm lighting, everything Hope could possibly need. Marina was overwhelmed, insisting he'd spent too much, but Alexander simply told her that Hope deserved the best. Their bond deepened naturally. Alexander cooked meals, helped bathe Hope, and stayed awake with Marina during late-night feedings. Marina opened up about her past, her mother's death, the accident that took the love of her life, and the mistakes that followed. Alexander shared his loneliness, his struggles to trust people, and how no one had ever cared for him without wanting his money. Slowly, the three of them became a family, not by blood, but by choice, kindness, and shared healing. Marina blossomed into a confident mother, glowing with stability and joy. Alexander found peace for the first time in years, realizing he no longer felt alone. They created routines together, laughed together, and supported each other. But something unspoken lingered between them, a growing affection, a warmth that neither fully understood. And as days turned into weeks, their connection deepened in ways they both felt but were afraid to acknowledge. A month later, Marina felt stronger, independent, and determined to rebuild her life. She told Alexander she wanted a job, not because she lacked support, but because she wanted her dignity and independence back. Alexander respected that and offered her a position as his personal assistant in his company, trusting her more than anyone he had ever hired. On her first day, Marina arrived nervous but beautifully dressed in clothes Alexander had bought. She paid attention, asked smart questions, and learned quickly. For the first time, she felt capable and respected in a professional environment. But others noticed her beauty too, particularly Richard, the finance manager, who tried repeatedly to flirt with her. Marina politely refused, but she felt uncomfortable. Alexander saw this and stepped in protectively. Their days at work and evenings at home deepened their connection. They cooked together, talked about their pasts, and shared real feelings. Alexander confessed that he sometimes missed having someone special in his life. Marina admitted she still felt sadness for her late boyfriend but also sensed something new growing within her heart. One night, during dinner, the truth slipped out. Alexander confessed that he was falling in love with her. Marina froze, shocked and overwhelmed. She didn't reject him, but she wasn't ready either. Confusion filled the air between them. The next day was awkward. They barely spoke. Marina felt torn, gratitude, affection, fear, and uncertainty tangled inside her. Alexander regretted confessing his feelings, afraid he had ruined everything. Richard noticed Marina's sadness and offered her support, but she wasn't ready to talk. Both Marina and Alexander found themselves struggling with a new emotional storm, one that could either bring them closer or damage everything they had built together. As Marina grappled with the overwhelming confession, her mind was filled with conflicting emotions. Alexander had changed her life, saved her life, in a sense. He gave her shelter when she had none, protected her when she was vulnerable, and loved her baby as if she were his own. But now, with his confession of love, everything felt dangerously complicated. Marina feared that if she couldn't love him back in the same way, she might lose the only stable family she had ever known. Alexander, on the other hand, was drowning in regret. He wished he could take back his words, terrified that he had destroyed their fragile bond. He loved Marina deeply, not out of obligation, but because she had become the light in his once empty life. But he didn't want to pressure her or make her feel trapped. At work, they avoided eye contact. At home, conversations were short and nervous. The warmth that once filled the mansion now hung heavy with unspoken tension. Marina couldn't stop replaying the confession in her mind. Did she feel something too? Or was she simply emotionally overwhelmed after everything she had survived? Hope, unaware of the adult turmoil, giggled and reached for both of them, unintentionally reminding them of the family they had created. Richard continued trying to talk to Marina, sensing her emotional distance, but she wasn't ready to open up. She realized that no one, not even Richard, understood her life the way Alexander did. And perhaps, that was the answer she feared the most, that a part of her heart was already tied to him. Their story reached a delicate crossroads. Love had entered the picture, but neither knew how to handle it. Marina feared hurting him. Alexander feared losing her. Both were bound by circumstances and emotions too deep to ignore, but too fragile to act upon.